As the young police officer looked in the direction of the waitress stroking her rounded belly, emotions of gratitude and joy stirred inside him. He had just had a child of his own, and something inside urged him to deliver an act of kindness. Yet he had a wife and child to get home to, business to attend to. He was already late. Which would he choose? Hi, I'm Garvin DeShazer, and this is your Daily Inspiration. It was the end of a long, stress-packed day when the young officer stepped into Clementon, New Jersey's Lamp Post Diner for a bite to eat. The first real relaxation of the day, he sprawled in the booth, digging into his Caesar salad and quenching his thirst with a glass of ice water. When his waitress came back to top off his water, she noticed him staring at her pregnant belly and smiling. 8 months, she said with a grin. I've been working my butt off to save money for the due date. Nodding in recognition, a host of emotions surfaced inside of him. Having recently become a father himself for the first time, he knew the joy that awaited her. Yes, there would be challenges, sleepless nights, adjusting not just to a new routine, but to a whole new set of priorities. But he also knew the indescribable blessing of coming home after a hard day of work, looking into the eyes of that tiny child and feeling his soul enlarge at the simple awareness and love for another human being. He knew that she would feel the same, and he told her so as they briefly chatted. It will change your life, he said, still smiling, and she could tell he meant it. Somewhat taken aback by this stranger's vulnerability and openness, but grateful for his encouragement, Courtney English smiled a bit, thanked him, and resumed her duties. Soon, the man heard Courtney tell other customers how excited she was to give birth to her first. Your time is coming soon, they said. Physically exhausted and emotionally drained, the young officer paid for his salad and water, reached for his car keys, and started to leave. But then another thought occurred to him. It wasn't too late, he thought. Would he take an extra moment for an act of kindness? He had to get home. He had things to do. He vacillated for just a moment and asked himself again, should I? Then he thought, yeah, she's working so hard. She deserves to know someone sees and appreciates her. Picking up his check, he jotted a quick note on it, gathered his belongings, and stood up from the booth. As Courtney English wrapped up her orders and returned, she took the officer's $8.75 restaurant tab from the table and started to head back to the kitchen. What she saw next stopped her in her tracks. It was a $100 tip left by the officer. Beside it was a note that read, "Enjoy your first. You will never forget it." She stared in gratifying disbelief. I thought it was a mistake, Courtney English told a reporter from KGO-TV after the story was brought to their attention by social media. $100 totaled the amount she averaged over the course of an entire shift, never in 1 minute and from one customer. I asked the hostess like 4 times, "Is that right?" And she confirmed it was, showing me the receipt, said Courtney. Overcome with gratitude, Courtney quickly returned to the table to thank the officer, but he was already out the door. She never found out his name, and neither did reporters, to whom the officer chose to remain anonymous. I started crying, she said. This just doesn't happen. You see all the bad stuff being portrayed about police officers these days, but there's some really good ones out there. This has changed the way I look at people. It was a night in a small New Jersey diner that neither Courtney English nor the officer would ever forget. We tend to think of heroes as those who put their lives on the line, who run into burning buildings to save families, or those who spread their fortune publicly dispensing millions to relieve famine in a faraway land. But very often, a hero emerges as an ordinary individual who quietly ministers to someone in need, forming inseparable bonds of human connection. When we serve in quiet anonymity, powerful forces unite to enrich the soul and deliver joy. Who can you serve today, if only for a moment, with no thought of what recognition or thanks you might receive? What person in your life, be it a friend or a stranger, needs an emotional or financial boost otherwise unavailable to them? Can you affirm, "I am humble and eager to serve"? As you are able, be that person today. Thanks for listening. May your day be filled with love, laughter, and joy. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Scott, producer for the Daily Inspirations podcast. We hope you're enjoying these stories, and if you'd like more inspiration in your life, visit mydailyim.com. You can find weekend blog posts, sign up for our email update list, and you can let us know about an inspirational story you'd like us to cover. Or just say hi. We'd love to hear from you.